"We're here to put your little sideshow out of its misery," my brother Adrian told the bankruptcy courtroom, smoothing his tie. Our parents sat in the gallery. Morella with tissues, Lorenzo stone-jawed. Sure, the ending was pre-written. I stood at the respondents' table and let their attorney parade stiff confidence and laminated lies. Judge Eleanor Park read from the petition, pen poised, until her gaze caught the company name. She went still. "Counsel, approach." Whispers crackled at the bench. Then her question cut through. "Is this the same Kestrel Defense Labs that landed the $189 million DoD contract the Journal profiled last week?" Adrian's lawyer swallowed air. Judge Park looked at me, disbelief hardening into anger. "Either this is the worst filing I've seen in 30 years, or someone is attempting fraud in my courtroom." Adrian's smile wavered. Mine didn't. "I built Kestrel 8 years ago in a rented garage with $3,000 and a stubborn streak. The Romanos didn't do garages, we did prestige. My father sold European cars to men who collected watches. My sister Bianca married a foundation board. And me? Lila, the middle child, the miscalculation, walked off a Wharton track to solder code and pitch prototypes." "That's a job, not a company," Lorenzo said. I stopped asking him to be right. The first 5 years tasted like burnt coffee and late rent. Contracts slipped, partners ghosted. I learned alone, then learned faster. Judge Park tapped her gavel. 30-minute recess. Both sides will prepare complete documentation. Petitioner verify everything. The gallery exhaled. I cracked open the first evidence box, pulled on nitrile gloves, and laid out the records that would end the performance. Mara Chen, my counsel, slid binders across the table. Audited statements, tax returns, investor letters, the redacted DoD award. On top, the forensic report, metadata like a lighthouse. The loan agreement Adrian swore existed had been generated 6 days earlier on a template site with pasted signatures. "We won't need all of this," Mara said, "but we'll bring all of it." When court reconvened, Adrian tried swagger again. Judge Park didn't look up. "Counsel for petitioner explain why a solvent contractor with federal work in progress is before me on an involuntary petition." His attorney shuffled. "There is a family debt." "There is a story," I said, rising, "but no debt." I handed the bailiff our packets. The judge read, lips moving once, twice, pages turned. The gallery quieted. I could hear the ventilation hum. "Kestrel Defense Labs reports $12 million in revenue last year and positive cash reserves," she said at last. "The petition's exhibits show fresh creation dates and forged signatures. Miss Romano," her eyes met mine, "or do you prefer Miss Navarro, as on these articles?" "Navarro at work," I said. "Romano only on family mail." She nodded, slow as a verdict forming. "The petition is dismissed with prejudice. Further, I am referring this matter for investigation of fraud and perjury. Interference with a defense contractor is not a parlor game." Adrian lurched to his feet. "It's a misunderstanding. She's dramatizing." "Sit," Judge Park said. And he did. Morella stopped dabbing tears. Lorenzo stared at the floor where certainty used to be. Outside, our side of the aisle erupted in relief I didn't join. I felt something colder, steadier, a hinge turning. The performance had ended, the accounting was next. Referrals became subpoenas. Adrian's lawyer flipped, producing drafts, emails, metadata. The scheme was sloppy and cruel. Indictments followed. Bankruptcy fraud, perjury, attempted interference with a federal contractor. He took a plea. 3 years in low security, a felony welded to his name. Lorenzo stepped back from the dealerships. Younger managers steadied what pride had tilted. Morella sent a letter about intentions and misunderstandings. I filed it and moved on. Kestrel kept moving. Pilots became doctrine, other branches called. We hired veterans and interns, paired them, shipped on time, and learned fast and better. Bianca wrote next. She claimed she'd believed in me, quietly. I answered, "Belief that never becomes action is a vote for the status quo. Thank you for writing." True, and enough. Months later, I carried my daughter, Isla, named for my grandmother who taught me stubbornness can be gentle, through the nursery I painted between briefings. I told her the lesson I needed at 24. Choose the family that chooses you. Keep building. Make work that makes a judge pause because it matters. At a cybersecurity symposium, I met Judge Park again. "Miss Navarro," she said, shaking my hand, "I'm glad the record is clear." "So am I answered. Not vengeance. Clarity. I drove home past the dealership lights and didn't look in. In the quiet kitchen, Isla slept on my shoulder, warm and heavy as a vow. I whispered the motto I once kept only on a whiteboard: "Stay unbreakable, then prove it." They came to close a sideshow. I built the main event, and I'm not taking a bow, I'm opening the next door.